Manchester United have reportedly moved into pole position in the race to secure the services of Atletico Madrid midfielder Conor Gallagher during the upcoming January transfer window. The Red Devils are understood to have identified Gallagher as a key target, viewing him as a player capable of adding both depth and dynamism to their midfield options. The 24-year-old has long been admired for his tireless work rate, ball-winning ability, and box-to-box presence. United's interest in Gallagher is by no means new. In fact, the club are believed to have made tentative attempts to lure him to Old Trafford before the summer transfer deadline, though those efforts ultimately came to nothing. Circumstances, however, may have shifted in their favour. Gallagher is said to be tempted by the prospect of returning to the Premier League, where he previously impressed with both Chelsea and Crystal Palace. That desire could prove pivotal in negotiations. Manchester United's need for midfield reinforcements is well documented. Despite significant investment in recent years, Erik ten Hag's squad has at times looked thin and unbalanced in the middle of the park. Injuries and inconsistent form have only heightened the sense of urgency. Gallagher's profile fits the bill almost perfectly. He combines energy with tactical discipline, offering both defensive cover and an attacking thrust from deeper positions. For a side often accused of lacking bite in midfield battles, such attributes would be invaluable. Beyond his technical qualities, Gallagher brings an intensity and resilience that tend to resonate with the demands of English football. His relentless pressing and willingness to cover every blade of grass would likely endear him to the Old Trafford faithful. United have long prided themselves on a tradition of midfield generals who dominate the heart of the pitch. From Brian Robson and Roy Keane to Paul Scholes and Michael Carrick, the club's history is steeped in commanding figures in central areas. Gallagher, while different in style, might just follow in that lineage. The challenge now rests in whether a deal can be struck with Atletico Madrid. The Spanish side are not thought to be entirely reluctant to part ways with Gallagher, though their valuation of the player could yet prove a sticking point. January transfers are notoriously difficult, with clubs often wary of losing key players mid-season. United will need to negotiate carefully, balancing their determination to land their target with the financial realities of the market. For Ten Hag, the acquisition of Gallagher would represent a significant statement of intent. It would signal the club's readiness to strengthen at a crucial juncture in the campaign and to back their manager with players suited to his system. The Dutchman has emphasized the need for athleticism, pressing power, and adaptability in midfield. Gallagher, with his proven record in the Premier League, ticks each of those boxes convincingly. Should the move materialize, it could mark a turning point in United's season. The addition of a player of Gallagher's qualities might well help the club regain consistency and push for honours on multiple fronts. Of course, supporters will remain cautious until any deal is finalised. Transfer speculation is nothing new at Old Trafford, and the club have often been linked with a host of players only for talks to collapse. Nevertheless, the growing sense is that United's pursuit of Gallagher carries genuine weight this time. If the Red Devils can overcome the final hurdles with Atletico, they may well have found the midfielder who can anchor their ambitions for years to come. Should Gallagher make the switch, it would also represent something of a homecoming to familiar surroundings. Having cut his teeth in English football and earned plaudits for his combative displays at Crystal Palace and Chelsea, he knows the pace and intensity of the Premier League inside out. That experience could allow him to slot seamlessly into Ten Hag's plans without the usual bedding-in period that often accompanies overseas signings. What's more, Gallagher's potential arrival could serve as a catalyst for greater competition within the squad. Manchester United are preparing for the first Manchester derby of the season, a fixture that always carries an electric atmosphere and significance far beyond 3 points. The Red Devils will travel across town to the Etihad Stadium on Sunday, the 14th of September, 2025, for a clash that could set the tone for their campaign under new manager Rubenamorim. Having secured a morale-boosting victory against Burnley before the international break, United arrive with renewed confidence but also under immense scrutiny. Amorim's men have spent the past 2 weeks working intensively on the training ground, focusing not only on fitness but also on tactical cohesion. The Portuguese manager, known for his meticulous approach during his time in Lisbon, has attempted to instill a more compact pressing game while encouraging his players to be braver in possession. A match against Pep Guardiola's Manchester City provides the ultimate test of whether such adjustments are beginning to bear fruit. Much of the pre-match conversation has centered on the goalkeeper position, a department that often goes under the radar until it becomes a problem. Following the departure of Andre Onana during the summer, United moved to sign the young Belgian goalkeeper Sen Lammens as part of their long-term planning. Yet despite the acquisition, Amorim has publicly declared his trust in Altay Bayındır, who now steps into the role of first-choice shot-stopper. Bayındır, the Turkish international, has so far shown moments of composure and sharp reflexes, but questions remain about his consistency at the highest level. While he produced a clean sheet against Burnley, facing City's relentless attack led by Erling Haaland and Kevin De Bruyne represents an entirely different challenge. Amorim's faith in him is commendable, but supporters are understandably wary given the unforgiving nature of this rivalry. Adding fuel to the discussion is the continuing swirl of transfer speculation around United's goalkeeping department. Reports from TalkSport suggest that the Red Devils retain a strong interest in Emiliano Martinez, Aston Villa's World Cup-winning goalkeeper. The Argentine had been monitored closely in the summer window, but the club opted instead to secure Lammens as a developmental option rather than splashing heavily on a more established figure. Nevertheless, insiders believe that Martinez remains firmly on United's radar, particularly if Bayındır or Lammens struggle to meet expectations in the coming months. The January transfer window could therefore reopen conversations about a move, with United potentially seeking a proven, battle-hardened figure to bring stability between the posts. Martinez's reputation in the English game has grown immensely since he swapped Arsenal for Aston Villa in 2020. Once regarded as a capable deputy, he has blossomed into one of the most consistent goalkeepers in the Premier League. His commanding presence, vocal leadership, and penchant for producing clutch saves have made him indispensable to Villa and a nightmare for opposition forwards. Of course, his crowning achievement came on the international stage during the 2022 World Cup in Qatar. Martinez was instrumental in Argentina's triumphant run, delivering decisive stops in penalty shootouts and producing critical saves in the final against France. His larger-than-life persona and unshakable self-belief have turned him into a cult hero not only in Argentina but also amongst neutrals across the globe. From Manchester United's perspective, such qualities are exactly what the squad currently lacks. In a transitional period under a new manager, the presence of an experienced and decorated goalkeeper could offer invaluable reassurance. Bayındır, while talented, is still unproven at the very highest level, and Lammens is undeniably one for the future rather than the present. Martinez, in contrast, is a ready-made leader who could raise standards immediately. Yet any pursuit of Martinez would not be straightforward. Aston Villa, under Unai Emery, are a side brimming with ambition and determined to cement their place among England's elite.